Hello again, everybody. This is Brian Comer with Berkshire Hathaway Home Services, the American Realty Center in Worthington, Ohio. And with me again today is Tom Lade. He's a senior mortgage consultant with Cross Country Mortgage. And today is episode 2. It's kind of a continuation on being prepared, really from a credit perspective, to buying a house. And I get a lot of questions about how much do I have to save? What do I need? What is a credit company looking at? How do they evaluate that? And what we're going to do today is talk a little bit about what you can do to be prepared and what you may need as a reserve. So that's a common question. Brian, what happens to me? What do I need when it comes to closing and thereafter? What are you guys looking for? And is there a way to help me as a new homeowner track what I need?
Yeah, absolutely. So, the one form that I like to talk to people about is the monthly survival number. So essentially it's just a form that you kind of start working on yourself, maybe even before we start talking. Okay. Just to kind of figure out, how much it costs for you to be you each month.
We mentioned that in our first video the other day. Yeah,
we sure did.
And it can be expensive to be us, I
Every
guess, right?
video is going to play off each other. So, what this form is, you fill out, what your rent is or your current mortgage payment, credit cards, insurance, all that stuff that you kind of spend each month.
Okay.
So, when I get to talk to you, hopefully you already have a number in your mind as far as, hey, with all the rest of my expenses, this is the number that I'm comfortable spending on with a new mortgage.
Okay.
So that way we could take that number, kind of work backwards and kind of start getting a purchase price that would be comfortable getting you that mortgage payment.
Okay, cool. So what is this survival number, the monthly survival number? What does it signify, and why do I need it as a new buyer?
Yeah, so I mean, really, with some of the guidelines, I could technically make you house poor. That's certainly not a goal of mine.
Yeah, we don't want to do that. We want you to stay in your house once you get it. That's
exactly.
For sure.
So I want you to be comfortable with what you're paying each month for the mortgage. So
okay.
Once we could figure out that number with everything else you're paying, okay. That's where we're gonna end up at with that number there.
Cool. So it's a what am I going to need to have after I'm done closing kind of?
Yep. Yeah. So another part of it is we could take, what you spend a month, multiply that by 6 to 12. And then, once we're at closing, if you can make sure you have at least that number saved back.
I got it.
Just in case things happen.
And they do.
Never know.
Right. They do, right?
Yeah,
they do.
Unfortunately, if something happens, you at least have some reserves in case something does happen.
So it's probably a good idea, in other words, to have somewhere between 6 and 12 months of reserve after you've closed in the event that some unforeseeable circumstance happens and you're kind of unable to work or what have you. So, okay, I get it. So we call that the monthly survival number. It's basically what your expenses are all added up. You probably need a reserve 6 to 12 months. And again, that way, if something does happen, you have a little bit of reserve and you don't necessarily have to worry about those finances. Well, I appreciate that. By the way, we do have this MSN, this monthly survival document available. You can email us or call us, and we can certainly send that to you. We're working on other means by which to get that to you, so stay tuned. What I would like to do too now is let you know tomorrow or the next day we're going to be talking about your assets and really what you need to have and what you need to be prepared for at the closing table. And if you don't mind, just drop a quick little hint about what that might be and why that's important as well.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely. So, with the monthly survival number, we'll know how much you should have after closing. But at closing, the cash flow closing is really made up of 3 main things. One, your down payment, and there's a lot of different options for that. Closing costs, the actual cost of doing the loan, and then prepaid items. And, in the next video, we'll break into each one of those and get you a little bit more detail about those.
Beautiful. Well, I really appreciate you taking the time today, Tom. Do us a favor. Subscribe to the channel. This will be available on Tom's YouTube channel as well as mine. Like the content. We do appreciate that. If you have questions, I'll throw my telephone number as well as Tom's in the comment section here, so that if you do have questions about anything related to buying a home, please let us know and we will be happy to help you. Thanks again for listening. Have a great rest of the day.